Hello to YouTube chatters on the stream, and hello to YouTube viewers on the video. We're going to be watching some true crime today, as we tend to do. These are videos from my Discord. So if you haven't already joined the Discord, you can go to the react suggestions and shove some videos my way. It can be true crime or non.
Farting really loud.
That person's farting, and we like to watch fun stuff on stream. So if you're a YouTuber in any way, feel free to join the Discord. Feel free to come over to Twitch. We stream all of these reactions. That way, chat has a fun time watching. So don't forget to do that. If you're somebody watching the videos, if you're somebody watching the YouTube stream, also make sure to hop on over to the Twitch channel if you want to watch and have a better experience in terms of chat and being able to communicate with me better, etc. Totally up to you. My chat does a pretty decent job, I think. And then, yeah, obviously, if you're a stream watcher, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel just so you don't miss out on anything. Let's watch another one from Red Tree Stories called Patricia Thinks She Can Manipulate the Police.
Back in 2008,
I'm seeing
Patricia
some more
McMillan
interesting
called
videos
the
on the
police to
sidebar.
report that her ex-husband
Mind me.
Kenneth had just gone missing. Patricia explained that she and Kenneth had just been divorced, and she was in the process of moving out. She had asked her friend Harold Ballard to help her move out, but she claims that her ex-husband called the police on him and had him trespass from the home. Patricia then continued packing up her belongings on her own, and when she finished, she realized Kenneth was nowhere to be found. The police asked Patricia to come down to the local police department so she could officially give them her statement.
Monday, the criminal trespass was issued. What was Harold's demeanor at that time? Was he a little pissed off?
No,
He wasn't?
no, he wasn't.
Did he say anything to Kenneth at that time?
Me high and dry, Here he knew that Kenneth's wanting me out, and he's been hounding me and harassing me to get me out. And then Kenneth throws him off the property, and then that leaves me high and dry. And as a friend, that made him mad that I was left high and dry. Now he was agitated because I was high and dry, and that's the only reason. That's all that.
Okay. Have you ever seen Harold with a temper? Get mad about anything?
No,
Never?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
The detective wants to know more about Harold Ballard. More specifically, he wants to know if they are in a relationship.
Where did you meet?
He came over to the house because he told me that we were friends at Oscar Mayer, and that he wanted to, since that I was going through a hard time, he knew what it was like to go through a divorce, and that he knew what it's like to go through a divorce, and he wanted to be there for me, and that he knew that there was nobody. He said, do you have anybody to help you move all your furniture out? Because he knew I had a house full of furniture. And I said, no, I don't have anybody. He said, well, I'll be here for you, and I'll help you get all this stuff out.
Wow.
Now, you understand what we talk about, we're not going to discuss with Kenneth.
Right.
Okay. When did y'all first actually start having a physical relationship? Before Labor Day or before Memorial Day?
No, it would have been after that. I mean, it wasn't just,
So it's been this month.
yeah.
Considering everything that we've talked about.
Classic
so
motivator.
far, and everything that you've told me and told Brad when we're out there on the side of the road and all that, would you be willing to take a polygraph
Yes, sir.
over all this stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during that polygraph, there'd probably be questions as to, whereabouts of Kenneth or anything like that. You'd be willing to take a polygraph. So if we set that up for you sometime this week, that'd be okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Due to the lack of evidence showing that Patricia was involved in her ex-husband's disappearance,
polygraphs, bro.
she was allowed to go home. A few hours later, Harold was brought in for questioning. The first question they ask him is if he is romantically involved with Patricia, and Harold decides to lie.
What kind of relationship y'all have? Are y'all boyfriend, girlfriend? Because now I think she's gone through a divorce. Or y'all seeing each other romantically or anything like that?
It's a business proposition.
Business proposition.
I need money, and she needs somebody.
She gives it to you.
No, well, not necessarily yet. I was just working because I realized she's got a lot to do.
Yes, sir, I understand. Okay, and that leads us
Thank you
up
for that
to,
prime sub per for
the
year.
day in question is
Welcome.
the day, I believe it's going to be the 16th, is a Monday.
And we were loading up some boxes, and Mr. McMillan and 2 Grayson County sheriffs drove up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And he went on and talked some more, and then that's when he decided he was going to put his finger in my chest.
Did he actually make contact with you?
Oh, yeah, he did.
And what did you do?
I told him not to do it.
Did you do it in a calm manner, or did you do it in because I mean, I know if somebody sticks their finger in my chest, I'm not going to be happy.
Well, I wasn't happy, but nevertheless, I wasn't there to cause trouble. I was there to help his ex-wife get out of his house, which is what he wanted. And I was
Interesting.
told by Mr. McMillan, standing between 2 deputies, that he wanted me to leave. Well, he said, as I knew that him and that woman over there were divorced. That's what he said.
Okay.
And then the decree authorized him, gave him,
Okay.
possession of the land and the house. And he wanted me off the property and to never come back.
And what did you say to him?
I said nothing.
You didn't say anything the whole time?
No, I sure didn't.
I think the officer said you made some type of comment or something. You didn't make no comments at all that you recollect?
To who?
To him, Mr.
No,
McMillan.
I sure didn't. The only thing was
excuse
said
me.
was officer told me that
Banged my knee.
it was a order that I had to leave the premises, and that's what I did.
Okay.
Harold was allowed to leave, and the police were left empty-handed. A few days later, Kenneth's decapitated body was found 450 miles away in an alligator swamp. His hands and his feet had been tied to cinder blocks, and his body had been submerged in the deepest part of the swamp. The investigators noticed a single gunshot wound to his back, which appeared to be the cause of death. Seeing as a person doesn't normally shoot themselves in the back, then tie cinder blocks to themselves and jump into the water, the police believed that Kenneth had been murdered. An autopsy was done, and the bullet that killed Kenneth was still in his body. It was a .22 caliber bullet. With this new information,
not good.
the police investigated Harold's phone records and
I
found
wonder
that he
if-
had been near the swamp around the time Kenneth had gone
Another one for my video. Another caught because of a phone.
missing. Because Harold had motive and his phone pinged in the area, he was arrested and brought in for interrogation. When the police searched his vehicle, they found .22 caliber ammunition. Harold sat in jail for several days, refusing to speak with the police. Once he realized that Patricia wasn't going to help him at all, he had his lawyer call the detectives and tell them that he wanted to speak with them. The detectives asked him to start when Kenneth had him trespass from his home.
Yes.
And he wanted me to vacate the premises and never to return.
Okay.
So I informed Miss McMillan about that I was going to have to leave, and she was concerned that I was going to get a citation, so I was going to she wanted me to leave the trailer, but the officer said it would be all right for me to take the trailer. And so I hooked my trailer up and left the place. And then my cell phone rang, and that's when I was informed that it was time to go to alligator country.
Okay. When she said we're going to alligator country, did you know what she was talking about?
I had an idea, but I wasn't sure. And my sister-in-law said, "What is that?" I said, "You don't want to know." I just like that. I didn't know for sure that that's what she meant. But she was saying something that she had gotten to the point where she was just kind of fed up with him, pushing her around and stuff. So,
Right. Had she talked about it before?
well, she had talked about she had gotten to the point where she didn't know how much more she could take.
And what did Patricia say over the phone happened?
She said he was dead.
He was what?
Dead.
Dead, okay.
Did she
And I
say
said-
how it
God
happened?
damn.
She didn't
I'm
say.
like, not
I
Okay.
said, "Where is he?" She said, "On the south side of the house."
not comfortable.
And so I went there, and
Whew.
sure enough, he was dead.
Okay.
Sat back down after that break, and now I'm like, my back's annoyed at me. Fuck. Sorry, my bad.
What happened when you pulled up?
Well, when I pulled up, I met her, and she showed me where he was.
Okay.
I walked around there to see him, and he was laying face up. And so we together took the carpet, that yellow carpet that she had, and wrapped him up, got him out of sight. She drove his car further down off in the weeds to the left of the house so they wouldn't be spotted. And I left to go get my truck inspected. And so I met her at her house around 9:30, I believe.
At p.m. or
9:30 p.m.
Was that Monday night or Tuesday night?
Monday night. Followed her to the place where his car was found. She drove his car.
his car? What kind of car is it?
It's a little Honda, white Honda.
White one. How did you know how to get to Louisiana? This
Well, she told me take 635
okay.
east and then would run into 20, I believe.
Was this already planned? Did she have a map or something like
She
that?
didn't have a map when no, she had said she had been in Louisiana before.
Didn't want to go in there. Now tell me what
Just
happened.
kept driving and then we just started looking for places that would be a nice place to be, out of sight until we were able to get rid of the body.
Okay.
hmm
Then what happened?
Well, we stopped at a few places and
This is crazy.
killed time
It's just-
and talked to a few people that was fishing. And then we stopped at one place where they got those big old ships and stuff, sell shrimp and stuff. I don't remember where it was. But anyway, we stayed there until late on at night and then got rid of the body and then we left.
Did she say what happened?
Wild.
She never did say. But after looking at him, I gathered that she shot him.
Okay. How do you come to that conclusion?
Well, I know I did.
Oh, yes, sir. I understand that. How could you tell he had been shot?
Crazy comment.
Well, it looked like there was blood. I mean, I didn't actually see a hole until after the shirt had been taken off.
This is like, this is weird. This is weirdly interesting because it's like this is another case of like a person helping the murder and being so casual about it. I mean, I guess like, I don't know. I guess he thinks that he can like, I don't know. Cause I guess it was, the ammo was in his car. I don't know if they have the gun yet. I don't think they have the gun from what I've been hearing. I don't think so. So it's like, I don't know. This is weird parallels in these videos today.
Okay.
And I saw a hole in the back.
Okay. Where was the gun at? Did you see the gun?
I never did see the gun.
Do you know what gun I'm talking about?
The guns you usually kill him with?
Yeah.
I'm sure I know it. That's the gun I'm thinking you're talking about.
Okay.
I didn't see it.
it.
I didn't see it after that first time.
Okay. After the first time, what was the first time?
She had a 22 that she said her dad had bought her because when she worked at Oscar Mile on third shift, he wanted her to have some protection because a couple of times she thought somebody had been following her on.
Okay.
It was a pistol, right?
Yeah, 22 pistol.
22 pistol.
Mhm.
Did,
Interestingly
any time did she
cooperative.
go to make any ATM withdrawals or anything?
No, not that well, I can't say she did.
Or pay with
because-
credit card or
because
anything? So I can.
No, she used cash all the time.
And the reason why I'm saying this here, I want to be able to show from somebody that Patricia was in Louisiana. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I need. Is there anything that you can give me to show that? I mean, talking with somebody, directions, or anybody
She
for me
only
to.
talked to one guy. We talked to several people. Only we had stopped at a service station. I went inside to get something to eat.
Okay.
We only used cash, and she asked I talked to some guy. I don't know who he was. That while I was in
Doing
the
this for a
store,
plea
I
deal?
found out about it.
He doesn't have to do this for a plea deal. A majority of cases end in a plea deal because lawyers have such little time on their hands in so many cases and clients that they just want to give out plea deals because most people do stuff like this where they get in such a hole and talk into one so badly that they have like no choice but to get one because it's like they're fucked. So it's kind of like I don't know why he's doing all this. It's a little silly.
Could be found.
And you don't know what convenience store that is or anything?
Not unless I was back down there.
Okay. Anytime did you see her dispose of the gun?
No,
He's throwing her under the
Did she
bus
say
for
what she
sure,
did with
but
the gun?
matter of fact, she did.
Okay.
I'm
what
going to
did she say?
reiterate
She
that
didn't say
this
she
is going to
disposed of
solve
it The day
nothing.
that I got arrested, the day that she was at the house,
Yes, sir.
she said she had the gun with her because she had thought they had found it.
No, okay.
But she looked later and found out that it hadn't been discovered. So the day that she came down and it was
Because it'll
the day that my
they'll
mom
just
wanted to talk to her 'cause she was
arrest both of them
concerned
anyway.
about my well-being. She had told me she had the gun with her,
Okay.
but she couldn't take it out of the car because,
Right.
as you know, all of y'all were there.
This whole time, did Patricia talk or say anything? I mean, she just committed murder. I mean, she shot this guy, and she's got you dumping the body and everything, or helping her. You know,
No.
she didn't talk about it, or
No, she
didn't say nothing.
Matter of fact, neither one of us said anything. We just drove in silence.
She
Good to
didn't say
finally
anything about
catch a
what Harold
stream
did or
smile.
said when he got shot, or
No,
anything like that.
not her.
Harold.
Kenneth.
Kenneth, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, no, not
Harold, is there anything that you can tell me, or any place I could go to recover some of this evidence and stuff like?
probably
That-
not.
Harold, you got to think real hard about helping us find some evidence
Well, I'm trying.
to link Patricia, somebody, somewhere, okay? Because you know what's going to happen is I'm going to go up to Patricia and say, you know, where were you, what's that? And, you know, she's already got a lawyer or whatever.
Yeah, I heard.
And how am I going to be able to prove that Patricia has done any of the stuff you told me? Is there anything or anything I can go do, or people I can talk to, or anything to?
Well, the only person I probably can verify anything that I've said would be Beverly, and she would just, and I didn't tell her that he had been shot. I just told her she didn't want to know. Like I
Yeah,
said,
you're an
since-
intelligent person, Harold, and the deal is, people get put in jail for this and that, and then they say, well, I didn't do it, so-and-so did it, and we just can't get up and go, okay, well,
Yeah.
you're out, see ya,
Yeah, I know.
and go arrest her. We gotta have something to put her with that, okay?
You're so
I mean, you've
smart.
done
You're
great.
so
You told us
smart,
How
Smile.
everything went down.
Yeah.
I believe you,
Okay.
but
Thanks
the-
for
the
admitting
deal
to
is,
everything.
I
You're so
believe what
smart.
You're telling me is you're telling me the truth.
Anyway,
you know?
jail time.
I know what you mean. And right off, I wish I could.
The
but
fuck?
I don't know anybody offhand. I know, like I said, we did stop at several places, but as far as her being noticed, only people maybe that noticed her was the lady, the people at the gas station on our way back, because she went in and paid for it.
Crazy.
And you're not trying to, I mean, I said I believe you, but you're not trying to push it off on her, right?
Oh, no, I didn't, and I didn't think that she would be using me this way either. I thought she was a better friend.
Unfortunately for Harold, it was his word against Patricia's that she was the one who committed the murder. Harold told the police that
It'll
he
be
had a brother
interesting.
named Joe, who was also close to Patricia, and
What was his
perhaps
last
they
name?
could use him to get a confession. Joe agreed to wear a wire, and he asked Patricia.
Oh,
if they
here
could
we
meet.
go.
On the night of the meeting, Patricia told Joe that he was to tell Harold to just keep his mouth shut, because the police didn't have any evidence against him.
Here we
Joe
go.
played the part of a concerned brother, and he asked her if he should be worried about anything. Without hesitating, Patricia told him not to worry, because she dumped the gun in a lake. She also
Oh my
told Joe
God.
that Kenneth was alone with her when she shot him in the back. With her confession in hand, the police arrested Patricia and charged her with murder. Patricia sat in jail for a few months until she finally decided to speak with the police. As soon as the interview begins, Patricia starts talking about how physically and mentally abusive Kenneth was to her.
He talked to me like I was dirt under his feet. Nothing I could ever do was good enough. He always complained about the meals or the dessert, or I never did anything fast enough. I just never did anything right. He was impossible to please. And one other thing he
So I
complained about
literally murdered him
is that
and
I always
decapitated.
interrupted his
We're
conversation.
really glossing over the part where he got
So therefore, I thought,
decapitated,
well, if I'm
by the
always
way.
interrupting your conversation, you'll make a
Unless this
listener
is
out
a
of me, so I
completely
just
different
sat there and just
person,
went
but
on my ending
pretty
while
sure
he
that's
was
still the
talking
case
to
for
me.
this one.
And then it got to the point where he says, well, you don't even talk to me anymore. So I had to tell him of why I was only a
So I
listener.
had to cut his head off.
And I might comment on, he'd had a bad day at work.
What?
And these guys, he was always paranoid about these guys at work were trying to kill him.
Why did he think they were trying to kill him?
I don't know.
And the physical abuse, tell me about that.
Well, one time we were down on Preston Road, and I thought this particular day I thought I would surprise
Masterful
him,
gambit.
and I would go pick him up at work. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna surprise him. I'm gonna surprise him. I'm gonna take him out for breakfast. I'm gonna take him and go get him his t-shirts, and he wanted a pocket knife, and I was gonna do all of this. So I showed up at Raytheon, and I let the guard know that his wife was here to pick him up because he normally rode in a carpool. And some of these people in the carpool is who he kept coming home telling me that it was going to kill him, that he thought that the way they were driving, they were going to have a wreck, that they were going to kill him or this, that, and the other. And anyway, they harassed him. He felt they harassed him. But anyway.
What?
Back to my story is,
so he was being facetious in the sense that they were driving recklessly in the carpool, and that's why he said that? So what does that have to do with...
He was all right.
But why was he so upset?
Because I'm making this up.
The only thing I could figure out is that I had messed his day up with his girlfriend because he was seeing another woman at the time. That's the only thing I can figure out. Because, here's somebody that supposedly loves you, that's showing up to take you out to eat, to buy you some clothes.
Yeah, right.
And to buy you a pocket knife that you've been wanting. And here he is acting like, he was screaming. He was yelling. He come out to the car and he kept telling me, hurry up, let's get out of here. Hurry up, get out of here. Well, all he can tell me is hurry up. I said, well, Kenneth, where do I go? And he called me a blooming idiot. He said, you blooming idiot, just drive up and that gate will open.
That's so south. Blooming
While
idiot.
we were sitting there in the traffic light, I asked him, I said, I want to know one thing. Why are you acting the way you are? When I've come down here to treat you, this was a surprise. I thought this would be a happy day. I thought I could make you happy. Why are you treating me like this? He just sat there like I wasn't even talking to him, like a bump on a log. And I said, so are you telling me that I messed your day up with your woman? Is that what you did, what I did? I messed your day up with your woman, didn't I? And he comes at me just like this, and he's just shaking me and going on like this with my neck. Well, here I am in the middle of traffic, and I have no way of getting help. And so here I am.
There's other cars around.
Yeah, and nobody's even honking. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's saying anything. So here I am with my hands physically trying to fight him off of me.
Okay.
I was going for his face. I was going for his arms. I was going for anything I could go for.
I don't even know what to add to this.
The car was not in park, by the way. I had to keep my foot on.
Right. Otherwise, who knows?
Ha 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 ha.
Gosh, did you get his hands off of you?
I finally
Golly.
got his hands off of me. And if I'd have been smart, I'd have told him, I said, you get your butt out and walk. But I wasn't. I was nice. I drove him home. But if looking back on it, I would put him out right then and there. Here's another catcher, is that he was very controlling over, because he took all the money away from me. And now I look back on it, this is another one of his ways of controlling me, because I didn't have any money, you see, of my own, to call my own.
Damn, bro, this woman knows exactly what to say.
Sure.
Well,
So his idea was to take what was left.
she
in
knows
your
the
bank
good
account,
arguments,
put it
but
in-
also talks
Under his name,
like she's
and
way
that
too smart for
wasn't
this.
it was supposed to be a joint account. But later on down the road, he took my name off, and it was an individual account.
Can't do that
And so here
without
I am with no
permission from
money.
you.
I don't have he's taken away the credit cards from me. He doesn't give me cash on a regular basis. I have no way of writing a check. So I'm up a hill, I'm up a creek. So anyway, I was out planting flowers, trees, or I was doing something in the yard.
Sure.
And he come up, and I do not remember what he got mad about, but I remember he grabbed a hold of one of my arms and he started kicking me in the legs with his steel-toe shoes on.
Ouch.
I was trying to get away from him. but the soles of my shoes were slick, and I kept slipping and falling in the grass.
Okay.
And I ended up with multiple bruises on my legs.
Patricia continues sharing her stories of abuse, but one thing the investigator found interesting is that she always had an excuse for why the abuse was never reported. Even when Patricia explains that her doctor saw her bruises, when she is asked for the name of the doctor to confirm her story, she refuses to give it.
A few days later, I went to see my gynecologist,
Not weird at all.
and she saw them.
Okay. What's her name?
Well, it might. I can't give you that because Bob told me not to.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Well, there was several times
Right.
on Christmas and Thanksgiving that
The doctor would technically, yeah, a doctor is a mandated reporter. They would have to do that. They would have to say something. Some don't anyway, but yeah, most medical care workers are mandated reporters. So if they see signs of abuse in one of their patients, they do have to report something to somebody, even if that's like one of their superiors in the hospital, but it's likely they would say something to the police. So even so, they still have to get it seems really stupid because they still technically, some places they have to warn the person that said that they have to report it. It's really weird because it's like that kind of removes the whole point of a person reporting it for the person's safety, even if that person isn't fully aware of it being like life-saving or for their safety. But yeah, there are states where it's like they have to literally be like, I have to say something. Can I say something? Doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
family after my mom and dad passed away, my brothers and sister and brother and sister and I and our families would try to get together for Christmas. And he refused to let me go.
Okay. Now, did Stephanie observe these abusive things and the things that Kenneth had done and the way he spoke?
No, it's
to
not a
you?
Hippocratic Oath. It's just mandated reporting.
Well,
It's
let me
just a
tell
part
you,
of
yes.
medical care. It's not a Hippocratic Oath. Hippocratic Oath is just the
When I come home from filing that report, back in
obligation to
07,
save and help
that
as
police
many
report,
patients
I
as
was really
possible,
upset.
and as best as possible. I'm
and
sure
I
I'm
had to sneak down
do no
there at
harm, basically. Yeah,
nighttime
I'm sure
to
I'm
file the
botching
report
it, but
because
yeah,
he left at 9 o'clock to
that's
go to
not the
work.
same thing.
So I had to go down there late at night in order to file the report with the
Okay.
policeman.
The one time that Patricia claims to have gone and filed a domestic violence report against her husband turns out to have never been filed. Patricia
Crazy.
claims that the officer told her that because the incident took place in another city, he couldn't file the report.
So when I come home
Huh?
that night, I was upset. And I told Stephanie about it. In Stephanie's words to me, she said, well, Mama, that's nothing. He's been doing it to me all my life. And I said, Stephanie, why haven't you told me this? She says, well, Mama, I guess I just thought you knew. But then she goes on explaining how he did it. And he would always do it when she was in her bedroom with the door closed.
Well,
So therefore, I said, well, where would I be at? She said, well, you were either in the kitchen fixing the meal, or either that you might have been gone to work.
Bro.
And I said, Steph, if you don't tell me these things, how am I supposed to know about them?
Stephanie McMillan would later testify at her mother's trial that there was no abuse in the home, despite her mother's many claims that she was physically and
Using
emotionally
her own
abused by her
daughter.
husband. After spending most of the interview building a narrative where Kenneth was an unfaithful, abusive husband, Patricia decides it's time to tell her version of the truth.
Not uncommon, by the
I'm
way.
very sorry for what happened.
Not uncommon
Because I
for
wish
somebody
it would
to
have
do
never
this.
happened. But I knew he was going to kill me that day because of all the things that had led up to that incident. And I would have never done it had my life never been in jeopardy. Because you can't live with a person that long and take care of them and do things with them and not still have a love for them down inside. But you know, I put up with that. I put up with him running around on me for a good 12 months at least, thinking that he would come to his senses. Because, you know, I'm a devout Christian, and I took the oath, for better, for worse, until death do we part.
Right.
And I kept thinking that sooner or later he was going to wake up and smell the roses. But like I said, it would have never happened had he not been going to kill me.
So that you were fearful that you were going to get killed.
I knew I would.
Okay.
Patricia
So I had
admits
to
that
kill
she acted
him
in self-defense.
and
But when the
decapitate him.
investigator begins asking her for details, she refuses to talk about it anymore. Patricia would take the case to trial, where she painted a picture that she was afraid for her life, and she had no choice but to protect herself. Prosecution argued that the lengths she went to hide Kenneth's body was very unusual for someone claiming self-defense. In the end, the jury would find Patricia guilty, and she was sentenced to 80 years in prison.
I can't believe that.
Because Harold helped the police, he was offered a plea deal of 10 years of probation.
Interesting.
What are your thoughts on this case? Should Harold have received a tougher sentence for helping dispose of the body and initially lying to the police? Please share your thoughts.
That is interesting. "10 years of probation for him, despite helping with disposal." Huh. It's unfortunate that I'm shocked by that, but I'm shocked by that because he's a black man, and historically somebody in his situation gets absolutely thrown under the bus. That's a bit surprising. Even with his cooperation, wow. I mean, was there proof he helped with the disposal? They had the ammo for the gun that shot the victim in his car, and I believe he admitted to using his car to move the body. I could be wrong. Also, just really, they glossed over the fact that he got the body was decapitated. Really, just that's like a huge deal. That's like a huge deal. That is a very, like, that's not easy, guys. Like, that is a very difficult thing to do. And that is like a lot of physical force and very much intention. Like, you have to really be, wow. Okay.